Welcome back to Ultra Review, episode number, I believe this is episode number 17. We're here discussing the last 8 episodes for Ultraman, episodes 32 to 39. The first episode is called, and the episode 32 is called Endless Counterattack, where someone from the Indian branch on vacation named Patty, yes, Patty, on vacation, and Hayata decides to volunteer to give you an escort. And then a monster attacks. Yeah, though the translation of these things is kind of weird. Also, I had decided to switch from watching on one website to watching on YouTube because the website went down for some reason. Yeah, when I went to go click to watch episode 32, the website went down, and lucky enough that I found there's a YouTube channel I'm not gonna name because they did not want Toho take it down, where they actually have the whole series on there. And because I managed to get all the last 8 episodes all done that way. And I'm probably going to be using this website, this particular channel I'm using for. I'm not going to name what it is. You probably have to ask me personally what the heck the channel name is, because I do not want the channel to take it down, because they've uploaded several Ultraman series in there. So, there's one point they claim a wildfire, but clearly it was a rock slide. I thought that was kind of weird. It's an interesting episode. There's nothing really wrong with it per se. I do gotta admit, the actress who plays Patty is very beautiful. Yep. I know she's older now, but I'm sure at the time she's probably considered very beautiful at the time. Here's the thing. She was an Indian branch, and she's played by someone who's Japanese. But it's Japan, what do you expect? Next episode is known as The Forbidden Words. By the way, the name of the monster for Endless Counterattack is Zumbler. Yeah, this one's a very strange one. This one feels like exciting. Oh, we have this alien Mafisa, who seems like looks like a very chunky body. Also, he likes a little boy. Like, what the heck is his problem? Yeah. And he also creates illusions of several dead monsters. Like, really? Yeah. Yeah, by the way, the monsters he basically brings as illusions is Bhutan, Zeb, and Kamar, which are 3 monsters that he fought previously in the series. Bhutan, this was the 3rd one. He registered back in episode 2. He actually returned. He previously appeared in episode 16, and this is episode 33. Zerb, he had last appeared back in episode number 18. Oh, and also we also have Kermer, who last appeared back in episode number 19. Right, okay. I guess I figured out why not just include them. Yeah, and when they have the Omega Giant Size by Ultraman, this is actually the first time since the pilot episode Ultraman spoke. He speaks one other time after this in the final episode. But I gotta admit, this alien thing was really cool. I love this whole concept. This was just really fun episode. Yep. In the case of our next episode, Present from the Sky. This one feels like an annoyance. Though it's also the only episode of the series where you have Hayate transform into Ultraman twice in the same episode. Because they probably thought, why not? Even though I'm sure he didn't have time, so. Like, apparently they tried attacking it, but it didn't work, so send Mike off to space because he just dropped from here. Where? Don't know. Eventually, they decided to blow him up, and eventually he transforms, thinking, first time he transformed, he tried to use a spoon. And he's like, oh yeah. Put that back in his pocket and then bring out the beta capsule. Bring out Ultraman. Tells monster into space because apparently, get this, he had to do this again because apparently the Self-Defense Air Force did not know about the operation for the balloon, the monster, because they thought he was just floating in the sky. Yep. So, yeah, Ultraman heads off to space. Never heard from him again. Monster Graveyard. Yes, this is the same Monster Graveyard that was mentioned way back in the opening episode, where we see the ghosts of several dead monsters killed off in the course of the series. We see Nurgia, who was killed off back in episode 3. There is Kamler. He was killed off in episode 21. Antler in episode 7. Gongo in episode 11. Gorman, a character from Ultra Q. Yes. This actually was the only time they actually brought back a character from Ultra Q for this one. There's also Tessedon, who actually is revived after this. Yeah, he is briefly revived in like episode 37. Yeah, by the way, that's actually 2 episodes of this one. We have stock footage of Gamora, which, by the way, his suit is actually reused with a different monster. And there's also Gamakura, Golden, Galus. Yeah, and so the new monsters one is Sabazu, this skeleton creature, which I fighting, and eventually, first time he fails, but then he eventually is able to send him off to space thanks to a special rocket. And also, it's the first time ever they actually have them exploring space, and of course they will go back to space in the penultimate episode. Yep. But Monster Gravy was an absolutely fun episode. I love it. Don't Shoot Ashichi. This is episode 36. Yeah, and this one, basically, the battling a creature known as Zagreus, who mostly is a redesigned for a different costume. Modified Gamora suit. Yeah. Because I look at the creature like, man, he looks very familiar. Yeah. And this creature, oh boy, this creature is such an annoyance. Like, more annoyance than the other creature. When they try shooting it, breaks apart, and it's more terrifying. And he's like about to plan a counterattack, and all of a sudden, sorry, I need you to come back to HQ right away. Why? Because the higher ups basically being dicks to them, like they can't attack because, oh, he got more stronger. And then Akashi, using the brand new gun that Ida made, he fires the creature. It actually does briefly work. And despite the captain doesn't understand the situation, but he disobeyed orders, so he is suspended from the SSP. So eventually he decides to, well, fire on his own. Again, this time with help Ultraman. But because he helped Ultraman, he's restored to duty. But he's to disobey order, but in order to be fully reinstated, he had to recite the 4th directive. Looks about 4 or 5 times in the episode. But this was a good character piece, but it is interesting that we bring up the fact that the SSP reported somebody higher up than them. Which is probably the first, and by the way, first and only time in this series, because it's like 3 more episodes left at this point. Yep, just 3 more. In the case of episode number 37, Pigmon comes back after he was last seen back in episode number 8. And here he's declared a friend of humanity, where he's like just going to a shop and just staring at various like objects as like toy versions of him. Not only him, but also Gorman, Kengan, Red King, Bazooka, Godzilla. Yeah, this I thought was really cool. And he's not the only revived monster we have here. We also have, I just clicked on that one, Darko. He was last seen back in episode 25. And Tesseldon, which we just saw his ghost back in episode 35. And he actually revived here. Yeah, he got revived. Which, he was revived by a brand new monster known as Garamon, who apparently is the king of the monsters. And his whole gimmick is he fires feathers off himself to basically hurt Ultraman. Which looks like it pokes his suit, but it doesn't puncture through. It's a very good episode. I personally enjoyed this one. Yeah, sadly, Pigmon is basically sacrificed for again. Also, I think it's Ida is very hesitant because he thinks Ultraman is safe all the time. Hayata is like, not really. You should basically always depend upon yourself. So he actually is responsible for help kill. He killed one monster in this episode. Yes, he killed. I think it was Darko. Yeah, he killed Darko. It was Darko or Tsunan. One of these two. It was Tsunan. He actually killed him, shot him, and basically just filled the pieces. He even helped also defeat the final monster. He was kind of a hero along with Pigmon. Great episode. It's interesting though they did this for Freddy Humanity for Pigmon, despite the fact he appeared once before this. He wasn't really a major threat to anybody, so he's declared Freddy Humanity. And then in the penultimate episode, they actually have the characters go to space once again, and they spent the whole episode in space. Yes, the whole episode. Where they go to this planet called Planet Q. And it's like this episode is clearly a tribute to Ultra Q. Despite the fact it happened a year prior. They have it where one of the monsters of the episode, what is his name? Kalia. Where his eyes, get this, move with the sound effect of the Ultra Q opening theme. Yes. And this is runs for blinding people. I'm like, wait, blinding people. Yeah, this happened just 2 episodes prior to this. It was just in episode 36. Don't shoot Akashi. Yeah, that was one of the gimmicks of the monster. The other monster is Saligo, who actually is killed by an SSP. Yeah, he was actually shot with missiles. Which, that was interesting. Yes. Which makes it, yeah, he's actually one of the very few monsters actually killed by the SSP, not by Ultraman himself. Eventually, the other creatures defeated by Ultraman himself by basically shoving off the space and exploding. But I found this episode really good. I especially love the whole thing when they're in the tank. It looks like there's seats in this Humvee they're in. It's very comfortable to sit in. Yes. I don't know if they really were or not. I have no idea. But I thought this episode was really good. And then we move on to the final episode of the series. Yes, the final episode of the original Ultraman series, Farewell Ultraman. An alien invasion! Of course, an alien invasion. Where they have to basically wait for orders to basically fire on these ships. And apparently they converge on Japan for some reason. Yes, it's not really explained here why Japan. So we're introduced also to an alien species and a freaking new monster who is the last monster of the original Ultraman series. Who basically was the stock footage. I'll get to that. We have Zutan, which is mentioned by an alien creature named Alien Zutan, who actually possesses a professor. Though this parent here I'm looking at is not exactly the same one I saw in the series. It looked like, there it is right there. Yeah, where he possessed the professor to basically take out the communications and power room. Like, this is interesting. An alien infiltrating the main base. I thought that was really cool. And of course, basically, after he's defeated, then comes Zutan himself. Ultraman has trouble fighting it, and eventually is defeated with a little bit of help from the SSP. And of course, the headquarters is actually damaged in the final episode. And then something weird happens. Another red spear. There's this other kind of weird person appears. Another Ultra appears, making his first appearance in the series. This is Sophie. Yes, Sophie. Which, fun fact, in the same episode, he is also played by Ben Ferrara. You're thinking, what? Seriously? Yeah, he also played this Ultraman. This Ultra. Apparently he's a commander, so he heals the Ultraman, but he doesn't want to sacrifice the human inside of him. So he offers up, and of course, they're free. Basically, Hayato, who's been basically the host of Ultraman since the first episode, he is freed from the possession. And Ultraman goes. Apparently, Ultraman's revealed he's lived for 20,000 years. And he's going to sacrifice Hayato, but he doesn't anyways. He gets free. Hayato gets free from him. And well, Ultraman goes on his merry way, and of course, he will return. In Return of Ultraman. Yep, that's when he will return. Yeah, he's absent for the next series, which I'll see the next episode. Yeah, he returns. His actual return will be in episode number 38 of Return of Ultraman in 1971. And I'll be discussing when I get to that one. Because I did find out the reason of why after next series, but I'll discuss that next episode when I get to it. It might be not be for a while, probably not for another month. While I discuss our next series, Ultra 7. But I enjoyed watching Ultraman. It was really good. Interesting though the fact we actually end similarly. We have the opening episode. I love the fact we build a lot of stuff. The only kind of problem we have with the show is, oh, by the way, Fukucha is briefly strangled in the episode. Doesn't die, surprisingly, but she does survive somehow. Now, what happens to the SSPF this episode? From what I've read, they got disbanded after this series by the time Ultra 7 came out. They disbanded and replaced with different organization. But you might be thinking, okay, does the character return after this? Hayate does return after this. Don't worry about that. But what about the other characters, like the captain, for example? He does return after this. Well, his next actual appearance was the Revive Ultraman. He does appear in one episode of Ultra 7. Yep, he does appear in there. And he plays a different character in Return of Ultraman. He also appeared in Ultraman Ace, an Ultraman movie, one series, Ultraman of the Future, an animated series. And he did play the character one more time. Some stock footage from Revive Ultraman, I'll discuss it later. Appeared a couple more times after that, but that... Ooh. Yeah, but he will return after this, but mostly probably be a guest star. But what about the actress played Fukucha? She, of course, currently at the 875, she will return after this, and also as a guest star. And then she appears as a guest star in Ultra Leo, Ultra 80, several Ultraman series, plays Fukucha again in the Rev Ultraman, though via stock footage, and motion comic in 2014. Now, sadly put, the guy who played the captain, he's sadly no longer alive, passed away in the 90s. Everyone else is still very much alive. The one who played Akashi, he's still alive. He's at 87. And he doesn't return to the Ultraman series until 1990, playing a different character. Boba Idy, the one who's the inventor. He, of course, well, he's sadly passed away just a couple years ago. Yep. He actually would not return to Ultraman until toward the end of Ultra 7. He, of course, appeared sporadically, but he would not play the character again until Ultraman Kaiju Desu 40 Years of Truth. Yeah, he would actually come back with that one. He would come back and appear one other time after that, but simply it. But there's also another character I should mention, though. Ishmael Hashimo. I forgot to mention this when I talked about episode 25. This was actually was a couple episodes back. Now, this character disappeared at 25. In the show, there's no explanation exactly why he disappeared. Off screen, the reason why this character stopped appearing in the show was because the actor broke his leg in a ski accident. So he was dropped from the show because he broke his leg. Yeah. And you're thinking, really? Yes, really. Would he return to Ultraman after this? No. Apparently he's still active. Let's see. The actor who plays him, well, after appearing in Ultraman, he says here he's so active, but he doesn't do anything. Yeah. So apparently the reason why he never returned because he basically dropped out of acting for a while. Yep. But hey, at least but in the case the guy who played, well, who appeared in Kamen Rider, well, I probably won't see him in Kamen Rider again for quite a while. Yeah. I've already done all his appearances on Kamen Rider, so he's done. I'd say probably the only thing that tokusatsu for him was probably, well, probably any movies he appeared in, and probably also anything, mostly it's Ultraman, because it's a good thing too. I got done his appearances on Kamen Rider first before I got this one. Yep. Now I will be going back to Kamen Rider really soon, but since I'm with this series, next one for this particular review series will be Ultra 7, but next tokusatsu review will be 5-Man. Yep. I will review that and then move up to Kamen Rider for the last two Kamen Rider series of the Showa era. But this is pretty much that particular review. Next up is 2 comic corners. Okay? And I have 4 anime reviews today, but here's the order of reviewing them. Martial Master first, then Bleach, then One Piece, then Eden Zero. I'm also gotta do 3 new manga chapters. Yes, 3, not 2, 3. Because basically got My Hero, Black Clover, and the return of Boruto. Yep. That'll hopefully be happening today, but it all depends, okay? Thanks for you. Bye.